Hello again. Now some poems from the third course, Afters, where I have chemotherapy and a colostomy bag for a year. Out in glorious technicolor. After the paired ward, black uncubicled sky and colour. Street lamps bent over their yellow nights. Pubs dressed by Quality Street. The traffic lights, 3 fruit gums. Home's psychedelia of mugs, cushions, scarves, bananas. Aid from the developing world. Lying on the kitchen sofa, I watch the ceiling and talk to the Congolese nurse. She examines the staple line running through my navel's open cast mine. Swirls of red, black seams, a bruised yellow river draining south, then plies them out. Some hurt, but she is from Congo, where Frankenstein platoons build soldiers from the leftovers of children and make children through the tip of a machete. So we talk, and sometimes I take a deeper breath and say it's fine when she asks if it hurts, because she allows this to count as pain. The title of the next poem is some advice they give you about the effects of chemotherapy. So this is coming home after my first infusion. Afterwards, you might feel a tingling when you touch something cold. Jacket off, home, the first infusion ticked. I sow the flat with hedgerow life. Thistles sprout in damp laundry. Nettles stream from the tap. A hedgehog bawls in my mouth on a spoon of milk and Frosties. As the treatment plodded on, the lives of my teenage daughters hurried on. Megan. One earphone in, one abseiling her jumper, a thicket of hopes under straightened hair. She seems half away already, university primed, riot shield eyes deployed. Then, mid-argument, she'll stop, mumble her point back, or quell supper's skirmish of dishes for me, worried I'm chemo-knackered. And on her way out, to a friend, a film, a class, she'll stop to hug, carefully on my left, giving no platform to the bag. Rower. Francis takes James to winter grating skin with river air at Craven Cottage. I collect Charlotte, her face clean tiredness after rowing against the January tide. We watch a fox cub puzzling on its PE sock paws at the bank of the Fulham Palace Road, and a branch wedged sunset. Buy hot chocolates from a dozing white cafe, the cardboard warm against our palms, against Charlotte's blisters, swollen from pulling against the tide, away from childhood. This next one is about music therapy. Song recital, 16th of February, Wigmore Hall. Somehow, the afternoon answers those swamp weeks, the suck of nausea and leaks in the bag. There is no hurry. We wait under the cupola, its tableau, a naked soul of music avoiding our eyes, harmony as light fracturing over psyche and love, over our winter jackets and lost glasses, Sunday papers and Oyster cards. The baritone and pianist walk from 2 oak doors across a plain stage, bringing only themselves, registrars of air and wire, consultants in the practice of stitching Handel, Duparc and Mussorgsky into us, threading them around us, mending whatever needs it with exact blind precision. Every field of life has its language, and cancer is no exception, even if it's sometimes quite annoying. More bad language. As I wibble with infusion before home, Nurse Wilson uses the full, confusing names for my party bag of drugs. I know them by their first names: Metoc, Dexa, Carpo, the Marx brothers' less successful cousins. Other cancer talk doesn't fit. Chemo is too matey, victim melodramatic, survivor too EastEnders, and battling cancer dad too active or comic. Battling cancer dad, a superhero Marvel dropped. The title of this next poem is a piece of punctuation. Comma. The waiting room tapers to a point, one straight wall, one curved. The shape describes its purpose, a pause with flasks for tea and coffee, biscuit packets transparent as our chemotherapy sacks, a pause before the wine gum roll of a blood test, or we are cannulated next door for infusion like a trolley of teapots. But the shape is also possessive. This space belongs to us and our accessories to love, and we claim it through couples greeting each other, their treatments attuned as astronomers chasing phases of the moon. We claim it with a wife reading out a funny bit to her husband, a daughter adjusting her mother's scarf, a man brushing biscuit crumbs from his lover's lap. The final course in Cooking with Cancer is Digestif, wherein the author goes back into hospital to have his colostomy bag removed. In the poem Cooking with Cancer, I took encouragement from my Flanagan grandparents. In this next poem, I take it from my son. The title is a piece of advice you're given, standard advice, before you go into hospital for an operation. Patients may bring a bag for their belongings. The red Manchester United rucksack James took to boarding school carries me into hospital. The last poem in Digestif and the last poem in the whole of Cooking with Cancer reflects really how my wife Frances led me through the whole treatment. Turret room. Frances takes my hand. She leads us from the ward along the edge of a wing, like a pier away from land. I am clambered in clothes. We wait for a takeaway of drugs and the day room's chilly octagon. 5 windows suspend us, a Rapunzel loop above buses' red riding hood roofs, level with wind tangled out from plane trees, and vaunting chimneys to the V&A. The stone fingers in its hollow tower arched around peelings of sky and permanently crossed. Thank you.